Hello and welcome to the Beyond Borders podcast. I'm your host, Neil Howard. Thank you so much for joining us once again, where we talk about the advantages and benefits of outsourcing, especially outsourcing to the Philippines. We're so glad that you're with us. And we're going to be speaking with Anna Rikka Aborro this evening, CEO and founder of TAP Virtual Solutions, a staffing and outsourcing company based in the Philippines that connects world-class Filipino talent with global startups. Welcome, Anna Rikka. Thank you so much for joining us here on Beyond Borders.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Well, give our listeners a bit of insight into who Anna Rikka is and why you are so passionate about outsourcing. How did you get into it? Is that something that you just planned on doing, or you woke up one day and said, I think I'll try this?
Well, that's a very good question. I started in this industry since 2009. Back in 2009, nobody believed what virtual assistant is. I remember, even my mom did not believe that it was a real job. But because professionally, I am a nurse. I am a licensed nurse. But then, of course, the situation of nurses here in the Philippines, especially during that time, was not as great as what they have now. I mean, even now, it's still not great. So with the very limited opportunities back in 2009, I was given, I had a friend, and I was actually teaching English to Japanese students. That was my first job. And I had this friend, and she was like, you know what? Well, one of my clients were looking for a customer support, but it's a home-based, it's a remote kind of work. So are you interested? And I was like, yeah, why not? Right. So yeah, that was the start of my virtual assistance experience. So I have been doing this for more than 17 years now. And over the years, I transitioned to project management and eventually operations management, where I help startup businesses streamline their operations, scale efficiently, and build sustainable systems.
Are startups your specialty, or if they happen to be a startup, you work with them?
Yeah, I just found that tapping into startup businesses is way a lot easier than tapping into, big, huge companies. And also because I think almost all startup founders, they're very innovative and they have limited resources. So having an outsourcing or a remote employee, if let's say the business is based in the US, and hiring someone from the Philippines, it's very cost effective. And yet the quality of work is the same as having an employee in the US. So yeah, I saw that pattern. All of my clients, all of the people who were asking for proposals, they were all startups. So I was like, okay, I think I can tap into this niche. And so in 2024, that's when I established the company.
How surprised were you to discover this niche? I mean, in my mind, not being an expert in outsourcing, I would think that a larger established company would be easier to work with than a startup that's maybe, for lack of a better word, feeling their way. Were you surprised to find out that they were easier to work with? And what is it about the startup versus the big established company that makes them easier?
Yeah, because, for startup business owners, especially those who are not techie, they have the idea, they have the vision, but they don't know how to implement that vision. So that's where I came in, or that's where I come in, and my people. Like, if you're a founder, you have a vision, and we make that happen. So my expertise is operations. And, when these startup businesses have really huge and innovative vision, we try to put a system after that vision. So we build that business or that startup business from ground up. And what's very unique about TAP Virtual Solutions, because TAP stands for Technology AI Person. So meaning that all of our virtual assistants are AI powered. So meaning that they leverage tools that are available, especially the AI or automation tools, to streamline businesses and to scale efficiently.
Your physical agents utilize quite a bit of AI in order to service your clients.
That is correct. Yeah. And that's why these startup businesses can scale efficiently and faster than like having a regular or traditional VA. Because we did a research and we found that, within 10 years, traditional VAs will be obsolete. That's why in order for you to stay in the game, you have to innovate yourself as well for VAs out there. So meaning that they have to work smarter, they have to know automation, and working smarter means having tools that will help them leverage the AI industry now.
Now, when it comes to vetting your virtual assistants, it seems that a person would have to be not necessarily versed in the old way of outsourcing, even startups versus big companies, big established companies. Is this an abandoning of the old ways, an enhancement of the old ways? And is this going to narrow the field of people that are coming into outsourcing if they don't have a grasp of AI?
That's a very good question. It's absolutely not abandoning the old ways. It's more of like leveraging the old ways. So we do also accept, like, for example, people who are new in the VA industry, they know nothing about AI, or they don't know a lot of tools. Maybe they only know like basic stuff, like what we normally use, like Google Workspace, or, just the basic ones. So what we provide trainings to these VAs. And also the training will depend on the need of the client, because not everybody, like not all businesses need one type of tool. So it really depends. It's very personalized depending on what the client needs. And when it comes to our clients, because we focus on Black-owned businesses, startup businesses. So yeah, so it's and also we do not only focus on Black-owned businesses, but more of like heart-centered business owners, meaning wellness brands, transformational coaches, stuff like that.
Now, we're not talking like back in the day, new age funding. Is that's right. Not what we're talking about, or basically dealing only with people that are of a certain political ideology, as it were?
Not exactly. No, not exactly like that. Well, as long as the business, we do not limit the type of service that we provide. However, we've seen the pattern that helping wellness brands or transformational coaches, or when we say wellness brands, it doesn't need to be like only in like mindfulness or yoga, even like financial wellness, that kind of business that we also help. So it really varies, but we do focus on heart-centered business owners.
Now, you are based in the Philippines. Are all of your VAs in the Philippines, or do you reach out to, say, VAs in the particular country that you're servicing?
Yeah, all the VAs are proudly based in the Philippines. And that's absolutely what we are proud of. I believe that Filipinos have really global talent, and we can compete with whoever's.
The Philippines being basically a hub of global outsourcing, have you anticipated the boom of AI as far as it relates to your competition? Right now, it's a niche, and I would say that you're at the forefront of servicing this niche. How do you see your competition in the next year or so?
Yeah, I think the competition will be very tight, very strong by next year. A lot of companies are now being introduced to AIs, so to automations, to systems that support AI. So yeah, I believe that the competition is really will be really high. That is why we are always innovating our processes, our systems, and we make sure that we are on top of the game.
Is there any final takeaway that you'd like to leave our listeners with, and then give us some contact information where we can learn much more?
Yeah, for our listeners who are business owners, or especially for wellness brands or for heart-centered partners or business owners, the TAP Virtual Solutions, we provide AI-powered VAs, and that means we leverage the tools that are available out there to really scale your business efficiently and to make sure that you can focus on what the business really needs. It saves time, not only time, but also the cost. It's very cost effective, and especially outsourcing in the Philippines, as you know, it's not only cost effective, but it's very efficient. And the easiest way to get in touch with us is through our website. It's TAP, that's tapvirtualsolutions.com. Solutions is with an S. So again, that's tapvirtualsolutions.com. And you can definitely connect with us through LinkedIn or social media platforms such as Facebook.
Anna, I appreciate your time. Some very, very interesting and insightful information as far as AI and how it's beginning to have a very, very large effect on outsourcing, especially through TAP Virtual Solutions. Thank you so much for your time once again, and hopefully you'll return and tell us how things are going.
Thank you so much.
Okay. You've been listening to the Beyond Borders podcast. I'm your host, Neil Howard, in conversation with Anna Rikka Aborro, CEO and founder of TAP Virtual Solutions. Information can be found about our outsourcing at outsourcingfit.com. And thank you so much.